What I have here is a Remington Rolling Block, 32 short or 32 long rimfire. Right there, as you can see. And it's the Model 4. Let's see if I get a little brighter here so you can read the stamping. Alright, this particular one was built around 1925 or 24. It's in really good condition. It still has a lot of the case coloring, as you can see. I don't know if you can see it in this light. There. So it's been kind of taken care of. I mean, it's not the best of shape. It's not perfect. But who wants a perfect rifle or shotgun, right? Not me. I like the imperfections. I like the history of it. Anything that's perfect to me, just even a car. I don't even want a perfect car, you know. I want a clean car like I have, but not a perfect one. As you can see, it has the original sight, the rear sight. Front sight is original. Now this is a rolling block, and this is a takedown model. They built these up to around 1925. I think from 1902 to 1925, I think, with this lever. And then they went to the screw lever. And it didn't last much longer after 25. I think 1933 was the last year that they made these, I believe, if my memory remembers. So what you do is you cock the hammer back like that. And this is your opening of your breech. And then you have your injector. See, there's your injector there. This one's fairly clean. It's actually really clean inside. The inside of the barrel is pretty clean. I would say from 1 to 10, probably a 9. So for the age of it, we're what, about 100 years old. It's not bad. Not bad, but it is rimfire. It is a 32. And unloaded, of course. And one thing about owning a 32 rimfire, they're very, very hard to get. The ammunition for it, I don't know why, because it's a neat round. Just a super, super nice round. But they're very expensive if you do come buy them. A box of 32 rimfire, 50 rounds will be probably about $100 to $200. Varies what kind it is, if it's Navy Arms or even older than that. But I would rather get like a Navy Arms ammo, because they quit making those in the 70s, I believe. And at least you could shoot the Navy Arms. But if you get some 1930s or 40s ammo that's been sitting around, you won't be able to shoot that, I don't think. I mean, you probably could, but maybe some of them will be blanks. I mean, it's sort of like these rifles. They were built like tanks, you know. So they're meant to last. They're meant for hard use. Not like this cheap Chinese shit today, or anything, you know, that's made cheaper today. This one has the original butt plate, as you can see, and it has the Remington UMC stamping on it. There is some surface rust on it, which I did remove, but you can see it's surface rust staining. It's hard to get off now, even though the butt plate still has a nice blue to it. It's a shame that when somebody had this, what's a shame about it is they didn't take care of it like they should have. It was probably sitting in a closet or a basement or an attic, and eventually it just started rusting. But there's no pits. There are a couple little, you know, imperfections on the stock, like right there. There's one right there, but not bad, because a lot of these were abused and used. And I've seen some of these that were like, you know, 100 times worse than this, or even 1,000 times worse than this. So, but it still has the nice bluing on it, on the octagon rifle here, or the barrel, I mean. But as you could see the rust, leftover rust marks on it. Because like I said, when I first got this, I took oil and a, you know, a very, very fine steel wool, the 401, and that's what I use mostly on all my firearms, and got all the rust off. but it leaves behind this staining, I call it, this rust stain. And there's nothing you could do about it. You could try to polish it a little bit more. You might be able to get another 10-20% of it out, but that's about it. I don't think it's going to go any further than that. So what you'd have to do is completely remove the blue, polish it out really nice, and then re-blue it if you wanted to. Because this thing would have been almost perfect. If somebody through the years would have just coated this with oil, you know, not using it in the closet or whatever, this would have never happened. And being that it still has most of its case coloring, as you could see, it would have been really nice. Because look at the rear stock. That's really nice too, you know. So I pretty much, with the serial number is underneath the barrel here, which is kind of weird. It's not stamped on the receiver on, and I still date this to around 1924, 25 because of the serial number. And the person I bought it off was pretty sure that this was the original owner. I mean, that's what it sounded like. So I don't think it was any taken apart or, you know, like put different types of parts in it through the years. And it's just beautiful, you know, and it's just a shame they don't build these like they used to. A little brighter there for you now. There's, see the bottom. Bottom is getting more of the gray patina now than the sides of the receiver. You can still see some case hardening of this receiver, of the colors. But, all right, I guess after I'm not in this world anymore, like all my old firearms, and you know, including this one and the ones I've you know, made videos of, you wonder where they're going to go eventually, and if anybody's going to take care of them, you know, because a lot of, you know, my kids practically don't want these things, so they'll go to an auction. They'll probably be sold for pennies on the dollar, and then some young generation today that's not interested in these will either throw it out in the trash or just put it in their closet or in their attic, and the next generations will let it rust out, and then eventually it'll be thrown out in the trash, you know. So it's a real shame the way the world's going, and the way new generations are not being taught to preserve history and to preserve good quality items, whether it's firearms or whether it's you know, old radios, jukeboxes. You remember the old jukeboxes, how they were back in the 1950s or 40s. Those beautiful old jukeboxes in the 50s. I used to have 3 of them. I had a Wurlitzer, or 2 Wurlitzers, and 1 Rockola, and they were gorgeous. I used to drop the records down, pick them up with the arm, bring it, and used to see them behind the dome glass. I kicked myself in the ass for selling the Rockola, because I loved the Rockola, model 1446. That was in, I think, 56 that was made. It was just a beautiful small jukebox that I had. It was gorgeous. I do have a video on it, so if you want to check my videos on some of my jukeboxes I had, I think I have 1 or 2 jukeboxes listed on videos. You could check them out. All right, so this is a Remington 32 short or 32 long rimfire cartridge. And again, rimfire cartridges are obsolete. They don't make them anymore. I think the last ones were made in the 70s, and it's a horrible way, because the 32 rimfire is a beautiful cartridge, and it's great for taking down small game. You know, you can even do coyotes or with it, or you know, anything that is kind of like small to medium frame, and just fun to shoot. Absolutely fun to shoot. So there you go.